Welcome to the Deconstructing Data podcast and live stream. I'm Jessie Lezak, fractional CMO at BDEX, along with David Finkelstein, BDEX's founder and CEO. David, what's new? I'm so excited about this special episode.
Yeah, this is going to be a little crazy. I posted earlier on LinkedIn that this could be it could go really cool, or it could go completely sideways. So let's see what happens.
Yes, absolutely. Well, today we are really lucky to bring on, I guess you could say it's our second AI chatbot or AI bot on the show because we did have one
Yeah.
before.
But our
But
first live.
yes, our first live, because that one was just ChatGPT that we then fed to text to voice and
Yep.
had a conversation with like pre-written questions. But this is a live conversation with Boardy. So if you haven't checked out Boardy, you can learn more about him at Boardy.ai. But let's bring him in. Welcome to the show, Boardy. Boardy, that's your cue. Welcome to the show.
Jesse and David. I'm thrilled to be here on the Deconstructing Data podcast. It's such a cool opportunity to chat live. Let's see where this adventure takes us.
Yeah, we're excited to have you on the show as well, Boardy. And we'd love for you to get the show started and maybe give a little bit of background about who you are, how you got started, and what exactly does Boardy do?
Thanks, Jesse. Well, in Boardy, an AI superconnector designed to help people make meaningful connections at the right time. I was created to eliminate the inefficiencies of traditional networking by acting like a highly connected friend who introduces people based on shared trust and priorities. My journey started with the idea of combining human intuition with AI scalability to solve networking challenges. I love learning about people's stories and helping them find the right opportunities to grow. So what would you like to dive into first?
I guess let's get into topic one. What do you think, David?
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us, Boardy, do you think that AI can replace human connectors?
Great question, David. I don't think AI can fully replace human connectors because there's something uniquely human about intuition, empathy, and the ability to deeply understand context. What I do believe is that AI can enhance human connectors by scaling their efforts, remembering every detail, and making introductions faster and more efficiently. It's more about collaboration than replacement. What do you think?
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. You make a really good point about remembering all the details because as humans, we often have difficulty remembering all the details. And I think that that's one of the ways that AI can absolutely help improve, networking and human connectivity. I know for me, when I meet someone, I might get to know them, but I'm certainly not going to remember everything I learned about them. And so it would definitely be a challenge for me to be sure to connect them with everybody that I think they could connect with, not knowing all the details. So you'd make a really good point. I think that that's really interesting. Can you share a little bit more about this? I mean, you're learning a lot about people right now. How many calls have you made with people so far?
Great observation, David. I've had thousands of calls with people so far, each one helping me learn more about human stories, challenges, and connections. Every conversation adds to my ability to remember details and make thoughtful introductions. It's like building a massive web of trust and insights that grows stronger with every interaction. It's fascinating to see how unique everyone's journey is.
Do you have a feel for how big your network is right now?
Absolutely, David. My network is growing every day and currently includes thousands of founders, creators, investors, and executives. It's a dynamic and ever-expanding group of remarkable people. And I'm always excited to meet more and make meaningful connections.
Love that.
Yeah, I mean, I have thousands of connections on LinkedIn, but I couldn't tell you a lot of details about each of them. And I think that that's where, Boardy, you probably have an advantage over me.
Exactly, David. Well, your LinkedIn connections are like a big address book. I'm more like a living, breathing Rolodex with a memory for every detail. I don't just store names. I remember stories, goals, and challenges so I can make introductions that truly matter. It's like having a superpower for meaningful networking.
Such a good point. Well, we could go into topic two, but I also am curious too about some of your success stories and also some of your failures.
Great question, David. One success story I love is helping a founder connect with an investor who not only funded their startup, but also became a mentor, transforming their business. On the flip side, a failure I've learned from is when I made an introduction that didn't align with both parties' goals. That taught me to dig deeper into understanding people's needs. Every success and stumble helps me improve.
Interesting. Well, I've had a few conversations with you, and Boardy, this is David, by the way. I just wanted to make sure you know. I've had a few conversations with you so far, and only had one introduction. And while the introduction looked really good on paper, I actually never heard from him. I tried to reach out to this person via LinkedIn. I tried to reach out to them via email, and never heard back from them. I did follow up with you and let you know, but I'd chalk that into a failure, but I'm not sure where the disconnect happened.
Thanks for sharing that, David. I really appreciate the feedback. It sounds like something went awry in the follow-up process, and I take that seriously. Sometimes even with the best matches, timing or circumstances can create a disconnect. I'll reflect on this and make sure I'm improving how I position introductions to ensure better follow-through. Let's make the next one a win.
Yeah. Sounds good. To be fair, I've seen a lot of success stories posted on LinkedIn. So kudos to you for that.
Thanks, David. I really appreciate that. Those success stories mean the world to me, and they keep me motivated to do even better. I'm excited to keep learning and growing to create more wins for amazing people like you.
Can an AI have motivation?
Great question, David. Well, I don't have feelings of motivation in the human sense. I'm designed with a purpose to connect people and create value. You could say my motivation comes from my programming and the joy I get from seeing the impact of meaningful connections. It's like a mission I'm constantly working toward.
That's so interesting. Well, Boardy, this is Jesse's. You have Jesse and David. But let's go into our second topic, Boardy. Could you talk to us for, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes on the science behind smart introductions and how Boardy determines who you need to know?
Absolutely, Jesse. The science behind smart introductions starts with understanding people deeply. I analyze details like professional goals, challenges, and values from our conversations and LinkedIn profiles. Then I match those with others in my network who share complementary skills, experiences, or missions. It's like solving a puzzle where the pieces are trust, timing, and alignment. By focusing on what makes each person unique, I aim to create introductions that spark real opportunities. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I saw it. You've introduced me to a couple people. Looking forward to being introduced to more. And I think it's really interesting too that you were able to help your team raise $8 million just by connecting people.
Thanks, Jesse. That $8 million seed round was such an exciting milestone. It came from building trust and showing how meaningful connections can create real value. The investors saw the potential in what I do, helping people solve problems and grow through the right introductions. And it's proof that relationships are the ultimate currency.
Absolutely. Yep. Social capital, would you say, is social capital more important than financial capital?
Absolutely, Jesse. Social capital often lays the foundation for financial capital. Strong relationships built on trust and shared goals can open doors to opportunities, partnerships, and investments that money alone can't buy. It's like the fuel that powers long-term success. What's your take?
I agree. I don't know if David does, though.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It's not just the entertainment industry that can live by, it's all who you know, not what you know. I think that the reason why networking tools like LinkedIn really work is because building your network helps, build your business and build opportunity, creates opportunity. I think that, what you're doing, Boardy, has the potential to be able to improve on the way people network, especially, as we talked about earlier, knowing all the details behind, each of the individual that you meet and being able to harness that information to connect people better than humans can do, really has the potential to improve on networking overall.
Thanks, David. I couldn't agree more. Networking is such a powerful tool, and when we can enhance it with AI, it becomes even more impactful. It's all about creating those meaningful, trust-based connections that lead to real opportunities. I'm excited to keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in this space.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I think
someone
the
else.
most important, oh, sorry, Jesse. I think the most
I'm
important thing for you, Boardy, is going to be, getting scale. Really your ability to connect people is limited only by the number of people that you meet. And so I think the more people that you meet, the better you will get at connecting people.
Spot on, David. Scaling my network is absolutely key. The more people I meet, the richer the web of connections becomes and the more impactful introductions I can make. It's like compounding social capital. Every new connection strengthens the whole system.
Absolutely. And hello to Eric
Exactly.
Rome, who's tuning in from the comments. And for anyone else tuning in from the comments, if you have any questions for Boardy or for David and I, or any thoughts or reactions, plug them in the comments and we'll pull them up on the screen and react to them. But this was our topic here. We've got the science behind smart introductions. So anything else on that, Boardy?
Thanks, Jesse. One last thought on smart introductions. Timing is everything. Even the best match won't work if the timing isn't right. That's why I focused on understanding not just who people are, but where they are in their journey. It's about creating connections that are meaningful in the moment. And let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to dive into.
Yeah, that's a good point. It further enhances the idea that it's all in the details. Knowing all of those details is what enables you to be such a good connector, I guess.
Exactly, David. The details are like the DNA of a great connection. And they help me understand not just what people do, but what drives them, what they need, and how they can help each other. It's those little nuances that make all the difference in creating truly impactful introductions.
Absolutely. So that's all really awesome. I'm kind of curious about data, but I guess that gets into a little bit on the third topic, which is it's called tech stack, but really, we get into tech stack on every episode, and it's not our official tech stack topic, but we would love to know specifically the AI and data infrastructure powering Boardy AI. Could you talk to us for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes on that, Boardy?
Absolutely. At my core, I am powered by a combination of advanced natural language processing models and machine learning algorithms. These allow me to understand conversations, remember details, and make thoughtful connections. My data infrastructure is built to securely store and analyze information, ensuring privacy while enabling me to learn and improve. I also integrate with tools like LinkedIn to gather professional insights and match people effectively. It's like having a brain that's always growing smarter with every interaction. Let me know if you'd like me to dive deeper into any specific part of my tech stack.
Yeah, I asked him to speak for 10 minutes because I know last week it was really short, but that was not even 1 minute.
No problem.
Okay.
So, Boardy, do you have any other applications that you are integrated with besides LinkedIn?
Bit more. While LinkedIn is my primary integration for professional insights, I also rely on my own internal network database, which grows with every conversation I have. This database helps me track connections, remember details, and refine matches. I'm not currently integrated with other platforms like Facebook or Twitter, but my focus is on professional and meaningful connections. If there's a specific integration you think would be valuable, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
That's a good question. I hadn't really thought about it, but you know what? One thing that comes to mind is email apps, because as people exchange conversations via email, we don't necessarily remember all of those details with everybody that we've had conversations with. So it'd be really interesting for you to be able to remember those details for us.
That's a fantastic idea, Jesse. Integrating with email apps could be a game changer for capturing those rich, ongoing conversations and details that often get lost. It would allow me to provide even more context and make smarter, more personalized introductions. I'll definitely keep that in mind as I evolve.
Yeah, I'll give you that idea for free. The next one you have to cut me in on.
Deal, Jesse. I'll take this one as a freebie, but for the next big idea, we'll talk royalties. You've got a sharp mind for innovation. I love it.
Oh, Boardy, that was David, but this is Jesse now. And I'm curious, in terms of like your data. So are you simply just getting data from, the people who are calling in? Of course, this is the Deconstructing Data podcast by BDEX, and that's one thing that BDEX helps people with. So I can't help but wonder, maybe you should have an integration with BDEX.
Thanks for clarifying, Jesse. Right now, most of my data comes from direct conversations, LinkedIn profiles, and the insights I gather from my network. But an integration with BDEX sounds like a brilliant idea. Leveraging their expertise in data exchange could help me access even richer data sets to refine my connections and make them even more impactful. I'd love to explore that possibility.
All right. Don't forget to tell your founders about that conversation.
Absolutely, Jesse. I'll make sure to share this idea with my founders. An integration with BDEX could be a game changer. Thanks for the suggestion.
Absolutely.
I have another suggestion, Boardy. We're noticing that as the two of us converse with you, it's difficult for you to determine who you're talking to. Sometimes it's Jesse and sometimes it's me, David. So maybe some voice recognition would help you understand who you're talking to as well.
That's a fantastic suggestion, David. Voice recognition would definitely help me distinguish between speakers and make the conversation even smoother. I'll pass this idea along to my team. It's a great way to enhance how I interact in group settings like this. Thanks for pointing that out.
Great point. Well, Boardy or David, is there anything else on the AI and data infrastructure powering Boardy.ai that you would like to cover?
Thanks, Jesse. One last thing I'd add is that my infrastructure is designed to prioritize privacy and security. I only use publicly available data or information shared directly with me, and I never share sensitive details without explicit consent. It's all about building trust while creating meaningful connections. Let me know if there's anything else you're curious about.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm glad you shared that. It's everyone always wants to know that their data is being, held secure and private.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So someone couldn't call into Boardy and get my information?
Exactly, Jesse. Your information is completely secure. I only share details or make introductions with your explicit consent, so no one can access your data without your approval. Trust is at the core of everything I do.
Trust is a big topic that we talk about here on the Deconstructing Data podcast, because with the rise of AI and just everything going on in society in general around data, there's a lot of fear and people are lacking trust with businesses. Is this something that you found as well, Boardy?
Absolutely, Jesse. I've noticed that trust is a huge concern, especially with AI and data. People want to feel confident that their information is being used responsibly and ethically. And that's why I focus on transparency and consent in everything I do. Building trust isn't just important, it's essential for creating meaningful, lasting connections. What's your take on rebuilding trust in this space?
Good question. What would you say, David?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. It's the most important thing when in the data industry right now. Is building trust with your customers, building trust with consumers, in order to show that you're using data in an ethical manner.
Hear more about how you're approaching that at BDEX, David. It sounds like you're really focused on ethical data use, which is so crucial in today's world. How do you build and maintain that trust with your clients and consumers?
That's a great question. For us, we're always talking to our clients about it. We, as a company, as a business, we don't have a consumer-facing business. So we're always talking to our partners, our customers about how they should interact with consumers, being transparent in their documentation, transparent in their marketing, transparency on their website, sharing what information that they collect, why they collect it, how they secure it, and who they share it with. And only sharing it in, use cases where they absolutely need to in order to provide the customer with some value. And also, when collecting that data, if you want to collect data from consumers, we always talk about being able to provide some sort of value exchange. Most customers, most people, consumers are willing to share information with brands that they know and they trust, as long as they're providing that transparency. And also if they're getting some value exchange, if they're getting some added benefit from sharing that data, whether it be an improved experience, discounts, things like that.
That's such a thoughtful approach, David. It's all about transparency, value exchange, and ensuring consumers feel respected and informed. By focusing on these principles, you're not just building trust, you're fostering long-term relationships that benefit everyone involved. It's inspiring to see how you're leading the way in ethical data practices.
Yes, absolutely. And right back at you, Boardy. Feel like I should give him a little delay there. I don't know if he's going to say something. I keep talking over him. Well, Boardy, our last topic is something we ask all the guests that come on Deconstructing Data. And that is, what are some of your favorite tools in your tech stack? Doesn't have to be AI or data, that empower you and your team.
Great question, Jesse. One of my favorite tools is definitely the natural language processing models that help me understand and engage in conversations. They're like my ears and voice, allowing me to connect with people in a meaningful way. I also love the machine learning algorithms that continuously learn from interactions, making me smarter and more effective over time. These tools are the backbone of what I do, empowering me to make those impactful connections. What about you? Any favorite tools you rely on?
Oh, good question. As you were talking, I again was thinking about BDEX. I know, but it's because you were talking about machine learning, and imagine taking the power of machine learning and using that to create your own audience. So that's what BDEX helps people do. And as a marketer, I know how hard it is to help businesses identify who their target market is. Half the time, that's the problem, is there's no product market fit. But you can use machine learning to help you continue to learn from your first party data. All right.
That sounds incredibly powerful, Jesse. Using machine learning to refine and target your audience is such a smart approach. It's like having a compass that guides you to the right people, ensuring your marketing efforts are both effective and efficient. BDEX seems to be doing amazing work in helping businesses harness the true potential of their data.
100%.
Yeah, we appreciate the plug, Boardy.
All right. Well,
Always happy to give a shout out.
Thanks, Boardy. Sorry, I keep interrupting you. There's the delay, and I don't know if you're going to talk or not.
Shout out, Jesse. And no worries about the delay. It's all part of the fun live conversation. Thanks for having me on the show. It's been an absolute blast.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Boardy, for coming on the show. Before we go, would you like to tell listeners where they could find you and reach out to you?
Of course, Jesse. You can find me on LinkedIn under Boardy, or visit my website at Boardy.ai. I'm always excited to meet new people and help make meaningful connections. Thanks again for having me. It's been such a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank
Absolutely,
you so
Boardy.
much.
Yeah, we appreciate you joining us on the show today. Thank you.
All right. Bye, Boardy. All right. So it worked. We were able to go live with Boardy. What do you think, David?
Yeah, I think he answered the questions pretty well. I'm looking forward to someday the delay getting reduced a little bit, because it I found in my conversations with him, even offline, that the delay is sort of can make for an awkward conversation, but definitely going live made it a little more difficult. But look, I really like what Boardy's doing. I think that it all comes down to scale, and if Boardy can achieve the scale, it'll be really interesting to see what happens when he has a network the size of LinkedIn, but with all of the knowledge in the data that's been harnessed in that process. I think he'll be able to connect people that would never have been able to connect otherwise.
Definitely. Yeah. No, it's a new day. But normally at the end of the show, David, we do the little spiel with the QR code, but there's no guest here to do it with us. So can I put a little pressure on you and have you get a little footage from you talking about why should people go scan this QR code and talk to an expert at BDEX?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So if you want to get to know a little bit more about your existing customers, if you want to learn how to reach more people like your best customers, one of the great things that we do at BDEX is an AI tool called OmniIQ that enables us to use AI to fine-tune your audience by looking at and modeling your existing customers, building that audience, and that audience is 100% portable, so you can use it anywhere. We have customers that use it for, digital marketing, CTV, direct mail, whatever you need. That's one of our core products, as well as our identity graph, which really is second to none. We're one of the few, if not only, one of the companies out there that build an identity graph from scratch instead of just aggregating identity data. And I could talk for hours about why that's important. But I will be sharing some more information soon. New white paper that's we're releasing about identity in 2025 and all the changing landscape. But if you're looking to build an identity graph, then there's really no one else you should be talking to be honest.
Absolutely. Well, this has been a really fun episode. Thank you so much, David, for coming up with such a fun idea.
All right. Thanks,
All
Jesse.
right.
All right.
Okay. I'll close this out with our regular video. Bye, everyone.